For centuries, nature was responsible for most of the disasters. From storms, to earthquakes, to floods, to volcanic eruptions, nature spread her fury, wiping out land and life form from the face of the earth. With the advent of technology, disasters took on a new meaning.
Disasters are serious disruption to the functioning of a community that exceeds its capacity to cope using its own resources. Disasters can be caused by natural, man-made and technological hazards as well as various factors that influence the exposure and vulnerability of a community.
Disaster management is the organization and the management of the responses and responsibilities dealing with all humanitarian aspects of emergencies, in particular preparedness, recovery and responses in order to lessen the impact of disaster.
Types of disaster management. As first type is earthquake. Earthquake is a certain release of energy accumulated in deformed rocks of earth crust, causing the ground to tumble and shake.
Shatter against an inside wall or understudy furniture such as heavy desks or tables. Stay away from area where glass could shatter and avoid area where heavy furniture could fall over such as large bookcase and cabinets. If you are under building and unable to move, cover your head and body with your arms, pillows, blankets to protect yourself from falling object. If traveling, stop the vehicle away from building, walls, bridge, trees and electric poles and wire.
What is an event that results from lower than normal expected rainfall over a season or period? Shortfall in main results in drying of rivers, lakes, reservoirs and drying of wells due to excessive withdrawal, and poor recharge of groundwater and lost crop yield due to shortage of water are some of the main indicators of drought.
Drought can be managed by regular monitoring of rainwater, the water ability in the reservoirs, lakes, rivers and comparing it with the demand. When water ability decreases, then water consumption needs to be reduced by adopting various water conservation measures. These include economizing of water consumption by increasing water use efficiencies, reducing wastage, using the wastewater for inferior use of effective methods of irrigation and sowing low water consuming crops are some important measures to overcome drought.
Flood are sudden and temporary inundation of a large area as the overflowing of river and rivers.
The flood water can be reduced by reducing the runoff water through afforestation. Forests promote rainwater percolation in the ground, thus recharging the groundwater and reducing the runoff water. Construction of dams also reduces flood water through storage. Dams can store water which cannot be accommodated in the river downstream and may cause flood. Water can be released in a controlled manner from the dam. Desalinating, deepening and increasing embankment increase the capacity of river, channel and drain.
Cyclones are violent storms, often of vast extent, characterized by strong and high winds rotating about a calm center of low atmospheric pressure.
It is important to identify the cyclone-prone areas. No development should be permitted in cyclone-prone areas. The buildings should be designed to withstand forces of floods and winds. All the elements holding the structures need to be properly anchored to resist the uplift. Coastal green belt has been found very effective in minimizing the effects of a cyclone. Such green belts, trees growing along the coast, need to be developed along the coast.
India has been traditionally vulnerable to natural disasters on account of its unique geoclimatic conditions. Floods, droughts, cyclones, earthquakes and landslides have been recurrent phenomena. About 60% of the land mass is prone to earthquakes of various intensities. Over 40 million hectares is prone to floods. About 80% of the total area is prone to cyclones and 68% of the area is susceptible to drought. In the decade 1990 to 2000, an average of about 4,344 people have lost their lives and about 30 million people were affected by the disaster every year.
We bring you the 5 most dangerous natural disasters occurring in the history of India we wish would have never happened. Tsunami 2004. With a magnitude of 9.1 to 9.3, it was the third largest earthquake of the world recorded ever. Almost 2,27,898 people died. The earthquake had the longest duration of faulting ever observed, between 8.3 and 10 minutes. According to experts, the earthquake that caused tsunami was so powerful that its impact can be equated to the energy of 23,000 Hiroshima-type atomic bombs. The huge waves of this deadliest tsunami killed lakhs of people in part of South India, Sri Lanka, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Earthquake was caused when the Indian plate was subducted by the Burma plate and triggered a series of devastating tsunamis along the coasts of most land masses bordering the Indian Ocean. Calcutta Cyclone of 1737. Early in the morning on October 11, 1737, a large cyclone made landfall inside the Ganges River Delta, located just south of Calcutta, West Bengal, India. The cyclone caused a storm surge 10 to 13 meters in the Ganges, with a reported 381 millimeters of rain falling in a 6-hour period. The storm tracked approximately 330 kilometers inland before dissipating. Many people were killed, large number of ships, almost 20,000 docked on the harbour, were damaged. Also referred as the Calcutta cyclone, the low-lying areas in the Calcutta region were badly affected. This cyclone killed 3 lakh to 3,50,000 people of the region and hence considered to be as the worst calamity that time. Coringa cyclone 1839. On November 25, 1839, India was affected by the Coringa cyclone in the harbour city of Coringa in Andhra Pradesh. It killed almost 3.2 lakh people. According to statistics, at least 25,000 ships and vessels in the harbour city were ruined from this monstrous storm. One of the worst natural disasters in the history of India, the cyclone struck the tiny city Coringa in Godavari district in Andhra Pradesh. It destroyed the entire city. It was indeed one of the biggest disasters that shook India. The Great Madras Famine of 1876. The result of crop failure, this famine starved to death some 55 lakh Indians, and this is the British estimate. It began in what is today Tamil Nadu before spreading to Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Maharashtra and parts of Uttar Pradesh. During this famine, the British continued to export record tons of food from India, tried to spend as little as possible, and perhaps most disturbingly, Lord Lytton, the Viceroy, held a grand banquet for 60,000 people in honour of Queen Victoria's coronation. Bengal famine of 1770 and 1943. A massive famine affected the pre-independent state of Bengal and some parts of Orissa and Bihar twice. In the year 1770 and extended for almost 3 years till 1773 and then again in 1943. One of the deadliest natural disasters to have hit India ever, the famine led to the death of 1 crore people due to hunger, thirst and disease, reducing the population to 30 million in Bengal.
National Disaster Management Authority, headed by the Prime Minister of India, is the apex body for disaster management in India. Setting up of National Disaster Management Authority and the creation of an enabling environment institutional mechanism at the state and district levels is mandated by Disaster Management Act 2005. NDMA is mandated to lay down the policies, plans and guidelines for disaster management. India envisions the development of an ethos of prevention, mitigation, preparedness and response.
As per the National Act of Disaster Management 2005, National Institute of Disaster Management, being an apex statutory organization under the Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India, has been engaging in building capacities, enhancing awareness and enhancing skills and human resource development on disaster management related issues to ensure disaster risk reduction and resilience aspects in the complete country. It has been engaged in policy research, documentation of disasters and case studies, conducting various trainings and workshops and awareness campaigns through various IEC materials.